Tempers flared and insults were exchanged as Max Verstappen and George Russell collided on the opening lap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix sprint race, leaving Verstappen with a hole in his car's side pod. Despite recovering to finish third, the Red Bull driver was seething with anger, calling his rival a derogatory name and urging for the new sprint race format to be scrapped from Formula One. What were Verstappen's comments, and how did Russell react to the Dutch driver? Stay tuned to find out. The streets of Baku witnessed a heated exchange between Max Verstappen and George Russell after the two drivers collided during the opening lap of the sprint race. The Dutchman, who managed to secure the third position despite the damage to his car, called Russell a dickhead in a fit of rage. Later, he also criticized the new sprint race format and demanded it be scrapped from Formula One altogether. Russell, still sporting his helmet, tried to explain to Verstappen that he did not intend to hit him and had no grip on the track. However, Verstappen was not in a mood to listen and retorted, "We all have no grip on the opening lap. We all need to leave a little bit of space." Stewards deemed the collision a racing incident, much to the frustration of Verstappen, who wanted it reported. Russell, on the other hand, brushed off the incident, saying, "I'm here to fight. I'm here to win. I'm not just going to wave him off because he is Max Verstappen in a Red Bull." Verstappen's ire wasn't just limited to Russell. He also criticized the new sprint race format, which involves qualifying for the main Grand Prix on Friday, followed by a short sprint race on Saturday for a handful of points. The double world champion labeled it as not proper racing and demanded it be scrapped from the sport entirely. Verstappen complained, "It is hectic. It is not proper racing. It is more like gambling. I will have more success in Las Vegas when I go to the casino. I like racing. I am a pure racer, and this is more for the show." Of course, it is important to have entertainment, but if all the cars are closer, you create better entertainment than trying to do it like this. It feels like a football match when one team is winning 3-0, and then suddenly you just reset to 0-0 and you go again. I find it unnecessary. Asked what changes he would make, Verstappen added, "Just scrap the whole thing. It is important to go back to what we had and make sure every team can fight for a win. That is what we have to try and aim for, and not to implement this artificial excitement. I got bored in sprint qualifying, to be honest. I like to have one qualifying where you put everything into it. I did that yesterday, which I enjoyed, and then we had to do it again today, and I was like, my God, another qualifying? I just don't enjoy that." It was a return to form of sorts for the Dutchman, whose temper erupted on more than one occasion as he dueled so memorably with Lewis Hamilton for the Drivers' Championship back in 2021. Verstappen's dominance last season, he won a record 15 races, was such that he was not often pushed to breaking point. But with Leclerc taking pole in both qualifying sessions and with Perez taking the maximum 8 points in yesterday's sprint race, Verstappen allowed the red mist to descend following the collision with Russell. Asked whether he felt he should take any share of the blame for the collision, which occurred on only the second corner of the 17-lap race, Verstappen said sarcastically, "I think I did leave enough space. But it's hard to not hit the Red Bull car, I guess. For them, Mercedes." Red Bull team principal said Verstappen would use the incident as fuel to fire him up for today's race and further into the future. Max voiced his opinion to George, Horner said of the spat. "It's probably a good idea he, Russell, left his crash helmet on. When you get damage to your car, I would be surprised if he was happy about that. He's like an elephant, he'll remember that. He'll bank that for a while." Discussing Verstappen's response in refusing to accept any portion of the blame for contact with Russell, former F1 driver Damon Hill said that Verstappen is displaying a similar stubbornness to the mindset displayed by the likes of previous champions before him. He said, "I think this is the sort of mindset we've seen in people like Schumacher and Senna. There are just some people who will not accept that they have any part to play in stuff that happens." An unimpressed Hill responded to the reigning world champion's comments with sarcasm. "We should just give Max Verstappen the championship and just not bother with anything else. Sorry, that's just sulking. That's a poor loser. Sorry, it's fair for everyone. It's the same competition. He should be basically thinking about tomorrow, thinking about the championship, and putting it behind him." What's your take on what happened between Verstappen and Russell? Who was to blame for the crash? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more videos like this. See you in the next video.